reply, not reply all.
Right,
It's his
right.
turn.
But there's a couple people
He'll
on the
probably
commission. Who,
choose to go somewhere with
I
Kurt.
think, are we live?
We got Gavin and our oldest. Oh,
That's okay. So a call to order this Human Rights Commission meeting of New Ulm. It's 5:15 on Monday, May 22nd. So first thing we'll do is the approval of minutes from the 4/24 meeting. So if you guys want to review that, let me know if there are any changes or questions. And if there are no changes or questions or discussion, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, minutes are approved. So then we're actually going to move up number 8 on our agenda, other business. We have a guest speaker here, Laurel Stinson. Is that correct pronunciation of your last name? Perfect. She's the executive director of the Grand, and she's just going to speak about an upcoming exhibit titled The Queer Experience. So welcome.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laurel Stinson. Like Kristen just said, I am the new executive director at the Grand. I've been there for about 4 months now. I moved here from Red Wing, Minnesota, where I was a member of the Red Wing City Council and a liaison to the Human Rights Commission there. So I am a little bit familiar with what you all do here, and I'm really glad to be here to share this notice with you of this upcoming show that we're having. So this was initiated well before I stepped into the position by my predecessor, Charlie, and other members of the community. It was an idea that came up shortly after the incident at New Ulm High School versus St. Peter at the basketball game, where an openly gay St. Peter player was harassed by some New Ulm High School students. Members of the community were really heartbroken by this and wanted to do something to show their support for the LGBTQ plus community. And one idea that they came up with was having a show at the Grand for Pride Month to show support for the community. And to further send the message to the surrounding communities that there's support for the LGBTQ plus community here, this show is being done jointly with other local art centers. So they include the 410 Project and the Carnegie in Mankato and the Art Center of St. Peter. So all of these art centers came together to plan this exhibit and are all holding open studio times at their art centers where artists can come and create pieces for the exhibit. If they don't have the supplies or the space on their own to do that, they can come to the art centers and find those things to be able to create something for the show if they would want to. So the Queer Experience Gallery show is for anyone who identifies as queer or an ally. So we're not going to be asking people to identify themselves. They can create a piece of art. It's open to anyone and everyone about their experience. It's all about their personal experience, and we're not going to define what that means to anybody or what type of art they want to create or submit for the show. The show is at the Four Pillars Gallery on the 2nd floor of the Grand, which is downtown, just a couple blocks away from City Hall. You can submit artwork at any of the 4 art centers that are involved in the show. So you can bring it to the Grand during our open hours or to one of the other art centers, and they will get it to us so that we can hang the show. The show will run from June 2nd to June 30th, and the opening reception will be Friday, June 2nd from 6 to 7 p.m. And we hope to see a really big turnout for that reception to support the artists and to see all of the art that will be submitted and to create a lot of conversation about people's queer experiences. That's what the gallery show is for. We hope that it becomes a place for artists and art lovers to connect with each other and support one another throughout this month of June. So I hope that you all will spread the word to everyone you know who might be an artist or be interested in experiencing the arts over the time from June 2nd to June 30th. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions or?
I was wondering, is it the art going to be shown at all four of those locations or only here?
Only at the Grant. That's where
Okay.
the show will be located.
Okay.
Yeah, and I should probably mention that there's no age limit either on who can submit art for the show. So
Does the Grant have a Facebook page?
we do.
Yes.
Yes.
And are you gonna be spreading the word on that as well?
We have had several posts go out to artists about creating art and when to submit, and we'll be continuing to promote the opening and things as it gets closer. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so then we'll move to the budget report. So you can just review the financial report. And we have 97% of our budget remaining. Some of that will come out as we kind of go forward with the events committee with the upcoming events in the summer. And we've just spent money on the ceremony expenses for the HR award and the plaque. Anybody have any questions or comments about that? Okay. Okay, and then we have the 2024 budget request that we discussed at last month's meeting. We tabled it. If I can get to load. So we have to review and approve that budget request for the next year. You have to, yeah. Download it and open it. So the total that we requested in 2023 was $8,500, and we got $6,050. And then the proposal, we have to look at what we want for the proposal for next year. Sorry. And we had talked about the last meeting of we combined the mileage and the fees, and we talked about should we combine the mileage and the travel fees and expenses. We really haven't used it in the last couple of years, so we probably don't need to ask for as much, and we can probably combine that all into one section. So I don't know if we want to go ahead and just request what we requested the year before, or if we want to look at that.
I mean, I think it doesn't hurt to request. Like, this looks pretty reasonable how it's broken
Yep.
down. And then if we don't get awarded, then we obviously wouldn't partake in some of those educational opportunities. But I think that's where it would be cut. Given that we're short this year, those are the things that are going to cut. We're still going to do the promotional stuff and being out in the community. But
Yeah.
that's just my thought.
Anybody else?
Oh, I agree with Casey to, I mean, ask for the higher amount, and if we get it, wonderful, and if we have to take less, well,
It's understandable.
that's what we have to do.
Do I have a motion on the budget request for next year?
I would make a motion to propose for the 2024 budget the same as the 2023 requested budget.
Any discussion or second on that?
I'll second that.
All right, all approved, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. All right, so that passes. We will request the same amount in the categories as last year. Okay, so then on to the events committee. We have a few things. So first is the Bavarian Blast Parade. We discussed most of this at the last meeting, and we tabled it to just kind of have time to think about, are we going to have enough people to participate? Do we want to register? So the first item is the Bavarian Blast Parade, which is on Sunday, July 23rd, and the registration deadline is June 30th. So basically, we just have a float in the parade. We hand out candy and signs, bookmarks, stickers, things like that. So we have to decide if we want to participate in that event. I think we've discussed like the last few years, we haven't had a lot of participation, and it makes it really hard on the people who are in the parade because you just have a lot to do. So I think we wanted to make sure we had enough people able to participate before we committed to it.
I know I am available for the parade, but I would agree if there's only two
Yeah.
or three of us, it's kind of tough. So I'm willing to be available and commit at least one other person with me.
I also can be available and commit one other person. And I thought too, we could always reach out to former members and see if there was anybody, former members interested as well. They might be.
Dan, Jackie, Wendy.
Yep.
Does anyone else know if they're available
I
this
am
time?
actually going to be out of town that weekend.
New vehicle, then, huh?
And that's, yeah, that's the other thing is we'll have to secure a vehicle.
I've got a truck if it'll run, that we can put stuff in the back.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, I should be available. But I might be having company that weekend, but it's up in the air.
Would they like to walk in a parade?
Maybe one of them, maybe not the other. But if like I said, I probably, and I
There
could
is
use a vehicle.
also a banner. It's hidden somewhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you
Lisa
don't
has
get a
it.
vehicle, you could always have
One walk.
somebody carrying a banner.
Yep. That is true.
Well, we can use my vehicle. That worked, I think, okay last time.
Mm-hmm.
Hatchback.
Yeah, it was kind of nice to have. We need a vehicle or a wagon or something to haul signs, probably.
Candy.
And candy, yeah.
Make a motion that we participate in the Bavarian Blast Parade.
I think it's a good, I would agree, and I think it's a good representation. It gets us out in the community. It lets us kind of be visible. So I think if we're able to, I would agree too. Do we have a second?
I'll second, and I'm available,
Perfect.
+1.5.
Perfect. So all in favor, say aye.
I
Opposed, same sign. Okay, then the second event for the summer is Monday, July 31st. It's National Night Out. What we've done previously is just set up a table. The event's at 4 p.m., or we set up at 4 and the event's from 5:30 to 8. We just had a couple people last year and we talked about having a few of the activities and candy and things like that at the table. So it wouldn't be as big of a commitment person-wise, but we just have to decide if we would like to do it. And there is no registration for that. We just have to decide to go and let them know.
I think if we're gonna do that, it might be nice to have 2 shifts of people, because last year
Oh,
there
yeah.
was quite a few of us that kind of just milled around. It might be nice to, because I'd like to go with my family, but I'd be willing to come for part of it. So if we did it
We could do
in
like
shifts.
Yeah, 5:30 to
like-
7 and then 7 to 8:30,
Yeah,
2 shifts of 2.
yeah, or even 4
Or
to
what, yeah.
6 and 6 to 8:30.
I don't want to, but that date bothers me. That's not our meeting date, is it?
no.
We had that happen last year, didn't we?
Let's look. Yeah, it did happen last year.
No, because our meeting is the 4th.
Yep, it's the 24th.
the
so we're
4th
good.
Monday, and there's an extra Monday.
I
Yep.
never thought about that, but
Yeah, that's a good call out though. But yes, our meeting will be the
Good
24th.
question.
So we do not have a meeting on the 31st. Any other comments, discussion?
Yeah, and I could take a shift. But yeah, that's a good point, Casey, because it is fun. There's a lot of other booths there to see, and if you have a family, and especially younger ones, it's lots of fun stuff for little people.
Do we have a motion to attend National Night Out?
I'll make a motion that we have a booth at NNO.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
I
Opposed, same sign. All right, so then the next event, the Brown County Fair. So registration deadline is July 1st. So we have a little bit of time on this one too. And the fair is the 9th through the 12th. We've done a table previously, and then we talked about how last year we just kind of limited hours to when it was busy and just had a couple people in the booth. Again, talking about, are we going to have enough availability of people to staff that booth?
I'm unsure at this time if I will be in town. I know I've been out of town for that before.
and I know I'll be in Mexico on that weekend.
Is that one maybe we want to wait
could probably
till
table-
the
yeah.
next meeting? just
This
so we have a
one,
little
yeah, the
time,
deadline
and
is
it's a little
July
further out?
1st. So we could
Yeah.
just kind of everybody think about it a
better.
little bit and
Yeah.
maybe come up with thoughts. And then we can bring it back up at the next meeting and make a decision. Is that all right with everybody? Okay, so we'll table the fair till the next meeting. And then we just threw this one on here. There's no registration open, but last year it kind of snuck up on us last minute. We weren't really aware of it, so we just wanted to put it on everybody's radar. The South Central Minnesota Pride Fest is Saturday, September 9th. We did participate in the parade last year. There is a possibility to do like a booth or a table like there is with the fair. So we just want to kind of keep that in mind and look at participating again this year. So kind of everybody.
I know last year, I think, wasn't it you and I, Katie, that were there? And I mean, we got really good feedback from people that were excited to see New Ulm represented there, because people from New Ulm, we don't have a parade here in town. People from New Ulm travel there, and it was cool to have representation there. So it's something I would suggest we do again.
Yeah, I think that's why we definitely wanted to bring it up, because it was just kind of a last minute thing. So there weren't a lot of people that were able to go. So it would be really good if we could get participation. So we'll just kind of keep bringing that one up until it's closer to registration. Like I said, Lisa said there is no registration available yet. So we have time on this one. So we approved Bavarian Blast and National Night Out. We're going to table the fair, and then we'll just keep talking about the Pride Fest. Events committee will need to meet, I think, to just kind of discuss the plan for the parade and National Night Out between now and maybe the next meeting, so we have a schedule set up. Does that sound okay? Okay. Next is current human rights issues. So the first thing on the agenda here was a newspaper article regarding the school board meeting in the PRISM group. So there is a copy of that article attached. So some of this is in response to the PRISM group and them receiving the Human Rights Award from the commission this year for 2022.
You know, this article, it highlights parts of it, but it is online for viewing if people want to watch. But, you know, a lot of the accusations that were made from the public speakers during the meeting were completely inaccurate and false. So, I don't know, I think that there's been somewhat of an uptick in bias-related incidents in general right now. I mean, we have the public attacking the LGBTQ students. There's a lot of incidents occurring. For one, I plan to attend the next school board meeting. That is this Thursday. And I would be willing to read a statement on behalf of the commission if that's something we're interested in doing, just expressing solidarity and support for the school board's mission to create an equitable environment for all students. So,
I'd be in support of that.
I would also.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, and I think also to even reference the Human Rights Act and what specifically the law is protecting.
And we could even, you know, we just put that statement recently on our page that we could draw right from that statement that we put on. So we wouldn't have to come up with anything.
are you trying to find
Yeah,
it?
I'm trying to find it.
Would we just want to read that statement, or do we want to also address this from
I
the
think it would be
former
nice to
meeting?
read that statement and then address.
Because I think that statement, are you finding it? I think that was more about racial
Oh, yeah,
bias.
I think you're right.
But I mean, on that same note, I had a member of a support network from St. Peter reach out to me since our previous meeting. And this person from St. Peter was contacted by a parent of a New Ulm student. I don't know what school they're from, but a parent from one of our New Ulm schools reached out to support in St. Peter for what they felt was racial targeting and bullying and discrimination that was occurring in the schools peer-to-peer. And so I had a member of a St. Peter support group contact me as a commissioner here in New Ulm, asking for support and resources. So I don't have details regarding what the specific incident or who the families were, but I know that there are racial issues occurring as well. So I think a statement expressing
Or even our
racial
mission, our
solidarity
mission
as well.
statement, which kind of covers everything, and then a statement on this
Yeah.
specifically.
So maybe
Because it
making-
is important to express to the school board that both are concerns, right? That all, yeah,
and that we
that
support
it all needs to be addressed by the school board.
mission of the school board.
Yeah.
So that's one of their goals, I believe, is working towards equity for all students. So just expressing our support, maybe condoning the bias comments from the last meeting, and then reading that statement.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, if that's something, I'm willing to read a statement like that on behalf of the board.
Any other discussion or motion?
I'll make a motion to allow Casey to speak at the next school board meeting on behalf of the Human Rights Commission.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. All right, so Casey will draw up a statement and read it at the meeting. And that's this Wednesday, the 25th?
Thursday.
Thursday.
This Thursday.
Thursday, the
Yes.
25th.
Thank you, Casey.
Yeah. Are there any other current human rights issues that anybody would like to bring forward? Okay, and then on to legislative update. I do not have anything. Does anybody else? Okay. City council liaison, that's Ally.
Nothing to report.
Perfect. And then we already did our other business, our guest speaker. So I guess we're to the date of the next meeting, which is Monday, June 26th. I know in the past that one has somewhat gotten canceled because of summer, but we'll just see what happens. Just assume that we're going to have it, and Lisa will send out the email to see if we're able to attend.
Well, and if we don't, we would not have time, the
Yeah.
registration deadline for the county
Yeah.
fair.
So we'll keep that in mind.
So-
If it would happen to get, we wouldn't have a quorum, we'll try and reschedule it or follow up.
Yep. So we could meet before July
Yep.
1st.
Good point.
All right, if nothing else, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
I have soccer that day, but